This deep dive is powered by Growth Suite. Growth Suite helps you run smart discount campaigns on your store. Test it for free on your Shopify store. Just land on the Shopify App Store now and test it for free. Welcome to Conversion Bible. Today we're diving deep into Shopify store data. If you've ever looked at your sales numbers and felt, like you're missing the bigger picture, wondering why things are happening, you're definitely in the right place.
Absolutely. It's easy to get overwhelmed, right? All that data.
Totally. So today we're unlocking how advanced analytics can, take that data and turn it into a real strategy, a clear path for growth. Think of this as your shortcut to really getting a handle on your store's performance.
Exactly. Our mission here is to cut through the noise. We want to highlight the key shifts, the techniques that actually let you gain much deeper insights. We'll cover how Shopify's own analytics have changed, the role of AI, which is fascinating.
Yeah, definitely want to get into that.
The key metrics that really matter, cross-channel stuff, integrating with other platforms, basically giving you that 360-degree view.
Okay, great. Let's kick things off with Shopify itself. How have their analytics evolved? It's not just basic sales reports anymore, is it?
Oh, not at all. The framework in 2025 is a huge leap. The biggest thing, immediate insights, real-time data.
Real time, so no more waiting until tomorrow morning to see what happened yesterday.
Exactly. You see performance now. It lets you react much faster to, trends or problems as they pop up. It's a massive shift from the old way.
That sounds incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Like you launch a flash sale, you can actually see the impact straight away.
Precisely. No more desk work. Another big improvement is the focus on rich visualizations. Think intuitive charts, graphs, stuff that makes complex data easy to understand at a glance.
Right, so you don't need a PhD in spreadsheets anymore.
Pretty much. The goal is to let you see the trends, the patterns visually. It just lowers the barrier for everyone to understand what the numbers are actually saying. Quicker decisions, more informed decisions.
Visuals definitely help.
Yeah.
Less staring at rows and columns, more
Yeah.
understanding. What kind of reports are we talking about?
Shopify offers a mix now. You've got your pre-built commerce reports. Think of those as your daily vitamins, the core stuff you need.
Okay, the essentials.
Yeah. But then you also have custom explorations. So if you have a really specific question, something you want to investigate deeply, you can build your own report. It's like having your regular checkup, but also the ability to order specialized lab tests when you need them.
That flexibility sounds really useful. The standard view plus the deep dive capability. And I saw something about predictive analytics starting to creep in.
Yes. That's the really exciting frontier. Shopify's evolving to use your past data to forecast what might happen next.
It's like a crystal ball.
Sort of. Imagine knowing which products might suddenly take off next month, or which marketing channel looks like it'll give the best ROI for your next campaign. It's about anticipating, not just reacting. That predictive power is growing within the platform.
Okay, that's a great overview of the evolution within Shopify itself. But what if you need to go, even deeper, really dissect things? You mentioned deeper exploration capabilities.
Yeah.
What does that mean in practice?
Right. This is about getting more granular control. One key feature is configurable reports. You can pick and choose the specific metrics and dimensions you care about for your specific question.
So instead of a generic report, I could look at, say, average order value just for customers from TikTok who are under 25.
Exactly that level of precision. It lets you answer very targeted questions without having to manually stitch data together from 5 different reports.
That saves a ton of time and effort, I bet.
Definitely. And it goes beyond just selecting metrics. There's also cross-metric analysis. This is where you look at how different data points interact.
Okay, like how one thing affects another?
Precisely. You might find, for instance, that your Google ads drive a lot of traffic, sure. But customers who come from your email list, they actually have a way higher average order value and stick around longer. Seeing those connections is crucial.
Wow, yeah. That could totally change where you put your marketing dollars, right? Focusing on customer value, not just clicks.
Spot on. It reveals those sometimes hidden relationships in your data. Maybe influencer traffic converts well initially, but email subscribers have double the lifetime value. That tells you something important about nurturing.
Okay. And how was all this presented? You mentioned better visuals earlier.
Yeah, the enhanced visual representations are key here. Things like heat maps are great. They can visually show you which products people tend to buy together. Super useful for figuring out bundles or cross-sells.
Oh, I can see that being helpful.
And funnel visualizations are another big one. They clearly show you exactly where people are dropping off in your checkout process.
Ouch. But necessary to know.
Right. You can pinpoint the friction points. Maybe it's the shipping cost page. Maybe it's asking for too much info and then fix them. Huge potential impact on conversion rates there.
Those funnels sound like a must-have for optimization. Anything else on these deeper tools?
Well, the information hierarchy is smarter now. The most critical stuff, your main KPIs, they appear front and center. You see what matters most first. But you can always drill down if you need the nitty-gritty details.
So, key info at a glance, but the depth is there if you need it. Avoids overwhelm.
Exactly. And importantly, all of this, fully mobile optimized. You can check your store's pulse from anywhere, anytime.
That's essential these days, no question. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. We can't talk data in 2025 without talking privacy. First-party data is becoming huge, right? Why the big focus?
Yeah, it's fundamental now. With privacy rules like GDPR, CCPA, and the whole third-party cookie phase-out, well, the old ways of tracking people across the web are just becoming less effective and, frankly, less compliant.
So cookies are crumbling, basically.
Pretty much. That's why first-party data is king. This is the information your customers choose to share directly with you. Purchase history, email signups, survey responses.
Data they give you willingly.
Exactly. And because it comes direct from the source, it's typically more accurate, way more valuable because it reflects a real relationship. And crucially, it's compliant when you handle it transparently and ethically.
Okay, so it's about building that direct relationship and relying on the data customers trust you with. How does Shopify help merchants actually collect this first-party data?
They have several tools built in, things like account creation incentives, giving people a reason to register. Post-purchase surveys are fantastic for direct feedback.
How did we do kind of thing?
Yep. And loyalty programs obviously reward engagement and encourage sharing preferences, even things like interactive quizzes, find your perfect style, or whatever they guide customers, but also give you valuable preference data.
Those all sound like pretty positive ways to collect info, not creepy tracking. What about the technical side? Server-side tracking was mentioned. What's the benefit there?
Right, so traditionally, a lot of tracking happened in the user's browser client side using cookies. Server-side tracking happens, on your server when someone interacts with your site.
Okay, so it bypasses the browser issues.
Largely, yes. It's more privacy-friendly because it doesn't rely on those browser cookies that are getting blocked more and more. It's also generally more reliable, less likely to be messed up by ad blockers or weird browser settings.
More dependable, more respectful. Got it. But how do we use this valuable first-party data for personalization, which customers expect, without crossing privacy lines? Seems like a tricky balance.
It is the critical balance. Shopify's framework is leaning towards tools that enable personalization using aggregated and anonymized insights. So instead of tracking one specific person microscopically, you look for trends in segments.
Like, people in this area who bought X also tend to like Y.
Exactly. You're personalizing based on group behavior, based on anonymized patterns derived from your first-party data, not invasive individual tracking. It respects privacy while still delivering that relevant experience customers appreciate.
That's a smart approach, using collective intelligence respectfully. Okay, let's dive into AI. It always feels like the future is now with AI. How's it actually changing Shopify analytics?
AI is making a huge impact. One major way is through context-aware insights. So instead of just showing you, say, sales dropped 10% yesterday, AI can analyze other factors.
Like what?
Like maybe a major competitor started a huge sale that day, and your site load speed dipped for a few hours. The AI connects those dots and tells you why the drop likely happened. That context is gold.
Okay, so it's going beyond the what to the why. That's much more actionable. What else is AI doing?
Natural language queries. This is really cool. You can basically ask your analytics questions in plain English.
Like talking to your dashboard. Show me my best-selling products last month.
Precisely that. Or compare email marketing ROI to social media ROI. You get answers without needing to be a data wizard or build complex reports. It democratizes access to insights for the whole team.
That sounds incredibly user-friendly, removes a big barrier.
It does. And then there's automated anomaly detection. AI constantly monitors your key metrics and flags anything weird. The sudden drop in conversion rate, a spike in abandoned carts.
Like an early warning system.
Exactly. It catches things you might miss and lets you investigate proactively. It's like having a vigilant data watchdog.
So AI is finding the why, letting you ask questions easily, and watching out for problems. What's powering all this behind the scenes?
Sophisticated machine learning algorithms. They churn through massive amounts of data to spot complex patterns, correlations, things a human analyst might never see. And they learn over time, getting better and more accurate for your specific store.
And it's not just spotting problems, right? The outline mentioned AI suggesting solutions too.
Yes, we're definitely moving towards prescriptive analytics. AI isn't just saying, here's a problem. It's starting to say, here's a problem, and here's what you might want to do about it.
Yeah.
Like, based on sales trends and forecast demand, you should probably increase inventory for product X by 15% next month to avoid stockouts. That kind of specific, actionable recommendation.
Wow. AI is a strategic advisor. That's powerful. Okay, we've covered how data is analyzed. Let's talk specifics. What advanced metrics beyond the basics should store owners really be focusing on?
Moving past just total sales or sessions is critical, yeah. One of the absolute most important is customer lifetime value, or CLV.
Right, CLV. We hear that a lot.
Because it's fundamental. It looks beyond one purchase and estimates the total revenue you'll get from an average customer over their entire relationship with you. Understanding CLV completely changes how you think about acquisition costs.
Makes sense. You're willing to spend more to get a customer if you know they'll likely spend a lot with you over time.
Exactly. If channel A brings cheap clicks but low CLV, and channel B is more expensive per click but brings high CLV customers, you know where to invest long term. Then there's customer retention analysis.
Keeping the customers you have.
Vital. You need to know which customers stick around. Break down retention by how you acquired them, what they bought first, their demographics. It tells you who your most loyal, most valuable segments are, so you can focus on keeping them happy and finding more like them.
So figuring out what makes your best customers tick.
Precisely. And related to that is behavioral segmentation. This goes beyond just demographics like age or location. It groups customers based on what they do.
Like how often they buy, how much they spend, what they browse.
Exactly. Browsing habits, purchase frequency, average order value, responsiveness to email campaigns. Segmenting this way lets you tailor marketing so much more effectively than just using broad demographics. You're talking to people based on their actual relationship with your brand.
That sounds incredibly powerful for personalization. What about understanding marketing effectiveness?
That's where multi-touch attribution comes in. The old last click gets all the credit model is just outdated.
Because people see ads, get emails, visit the site multiple times.
Right. The journey is complex. Multi-touch models try to assign value to all the touch points that contributed to a sale. The first ad view, the retargeting, the email click, the brand search, giving you a much more realistic picture of what's actually working across your whole marketing mix.
A much fairer assessment of each channel's role. What about the products themselves? Any key advanced metrics there?
Oh, definitely. Inventory performance metrics are crucial. Things like sell-through rate, how fast stuff sells, days of supply, how long your current stock will last, and return rate by specific product, SQ, essential for managing stock efficiently.
Avoiding stockouts and dead inventory.
Exactly. Then, for deeper product analytics, look at product affinity, what gets bought together. That informs bundles and cross-sells. And product journey, how do people discover and buy specific items? That helps with merchandising. Finally, performance benchmarking.
Comparing yourself to others.
Yeah, seeing how your key metrics stack up against similar stores in your niche. It provides context. Are your numbers good, bad, average? Where are the opportunities?
That's a great list. Clearly, moving beyond surface-level numbers gives you a much richer understanding. Okay, customers bounce between channels all the time. How do we get that unified view of their whole journey?
Yeah, that customer journey is rarely linear, is it? It zigzags. That's where unified analytics aims to help. The goal is a single holistic view across all touchpoints, social media, email, your site, maybe even offline stores if you have them.
Breaking down the silos between, say, Instagram data and website data.
Exactly, seeing the whole picture. A big part of this is sophisticated attribution modeling, like we just discussed. Moving beyond last click to understand how all channels work together. Maybe social drives awareness, email nurtures, and search closes the deal. You need to see that interplay.
So you don't accidentally cut budget for a channel that's crucial early in the funnel.
Precisely. And Shopify is improving integrations here. You've got better social commerce analytics pulling in data from Instagram shopping, TikTok shop, etc. For sellers on multiple marketplaces, unified marketplace reporting brings Amazon, eBay data into Shopify.
Okay, consolidating views.
And bridging the online-offline divide is a big focus for merchants, with physical stores connecting that in-store purchase to an online profile. Even looking ahead, integrating voice commerce analytics. The aim is one comprehensive view per customer, no matter how they interact.
A true single customer view. That sounds like the holy grail. Now, for some businesses, even Shopify's advanced tools might not be enough. When should someone look at external platforms like Google Analytics?
That's a common next step. While Shopify's native tools are great, integrating with Google Analytics 4, GA4, is standard practice for many. GA4 is powerful for cross-platform analysis, connecting your Shopify data with behavior across your entire web presence, maybe blog content, apps, etc. It gives a broader view of the digital journey.
So if your brand exists significantly beyond just the Shopify store itself, GA4 helps connect those dots. What about for really large, complex operations?
For enterprise-level needs, especially involving huge data volumes or combining Shopify data with, say, CRM or ERP data, you might look at Google BigQuery integration. This lets you dump massive amounts of data into a central warehouse for really deep custom analysis.
Okay, that's definitely for the big players dealing with serious data scale.
Mm-hmm.
How does data actually get moved between these systems? It
Yeah,
sounds complicated.
It used to be. But data blending using ETL tools extract, transform, load is much more streamlined now. These tools automate pulling data from Shopify, maybe GA4, your ad platforms, cleaning it up and loading it into your analysis tool or data warehouse like BigQuery, Snowflake, or Redshift.
ETL tools make it easier to consolidate everything.
Yeah, they handle a lot of the messy plumbing. And don't forget the Shopify App Store. There are tons of specialized analytics apps focusing on specific niches, advanced segmentation, LTV modeling, inventory optimization, often with their own unique algorithms.
So you can kind of build a custom analytics stack, layering tools.
Exactly. A common stack might be Shopify Analytics for daily checks, GA4 for web behavior, maybe a specialized app for retention, and potentially BigQuery if you need that enterprise power and warehousing. You pick the layers that fit your needs and budget.
That makes sense. Scale your stack as you scale your business.
Yeah.
Okay, we've talked a lot about understanding the past and present. Let's pivot to the future predictive analytics. How does forecasting help store owners get ahead?
Predictive analytics is about using historical data to make educated guesses about the future. Sales forecasting models are much better now. They don't just look at past sales. They factor in seasonality, marketing plans, even external economic stuff to project future revenue more accurately.
More than just a simple trend line.
Way more. This helps with inventory planning, staffing, setting realistic targets, budgeting. It's invaluable for planning.
Where else is prediction really useful for e-commerce?
Inventory prediction is huge. Forecasting demand at the product level helps prevent stockouts, lost sales, unhappy customers, and avoids overstocking, which ties up cash. Huge efficiency gain.
Predicting what customers will do.
Yeah, customer behavior prediction. Identifying who's likely to buy again soon, what they might buy, when's the best time to reach out with a targeted offer. Makes marketing much smarter.
So you're not just blasting everyone with the same message.
Right. And churn prediction is another key one. Identifying customers who show signs of drifting away before they leave, so you can try to win them back with a targeted retention offer.
Saving customers before they're gone.
Exactly. Plus, seasonal trend forecasting beyond the obvious holidays and machine learning-based anomaly detection that not only spots weird spikes or dips, but might even suggest why they're happening. It's all about being proactive, not reactive.
That proactive edge sounds crucial. Now, obviously, a brand new store's analytics needs are different from a multi-million-dollar brand. How should businesses approach this at different stages?
That's super important for startup stores, say under $50 a month. Keep it focused. Master the fundamentals. Track conversion rate by source, AOV, customer acquisition cost, FT, top products, basic demographics. Shopify's built-in tools, plus maybe a basic GA4 setup is usually enough. Build a solid foundation.
Nail the basics first. Makes sense. What about when you start growing?
In the growth stage, maybe $50K to $500K monthly, you need more sophistication. Start digging into customer segmentation. Who are your different buyer types? Implement better marketing attribution, what's really driving growth. Maybe dip your toes into predictive analytics, like basic LTV forecasting. Cohort analysis becomes really valuable here too, tracking groups over time.
So layering on more advanced techniques as complexity increases, and for the big players.
Enterprise level, over $500 a month. You're likely looking at a comprehensive, probably custom analytics setup, full omnichannel reporting, advanced predictive modeling, maybe custom solutions built by a data team, deep integration with business intelligence platforms. Often they'll have dedicated analytics staff or even whole teams at this stage.
So the analytics function itself becomes a core part of the business. Does industry matter too?
Absolutely. A fashion store cares intensely about size, color analytics, and returns. A subscription box focuses obsessively on churn and LTV. Food delivery needs to track spoilage and delivery timing. Electronics might focus on warranty claims. The questions you ask your data differ by industry, and your dashboards should reflect that. evolving from simple action-focused views early on to complex, multi-layered ones later.
Tailoring the tools metrics to your specific business context. Okay, getting all this setup sounds potentially technical. What are the key technical bits people need to get right?
The foundation is crucial, you're right. The Shopify API is the gateway for external tools to access data securely, often using GraphQL now for more efficient data pulling. Integrating third-party tools via the App Store or official partnerships is easier than it used to be, but configuration is still key. You need to tell the tool what specific events and data points matter to you.
So setup might be easier, but thinking through what to track is still vital. What about managing all that data, especially for bigger stores?
That's where data warehouse connections come in. Using those ETL processes we mentioned to extract data from Shopify, transform it into a standard format, and load it into a warehouse like BigQuery, Redshift, or Snowflake. This creates a central hub for combining Shopify data with other business data for really deep analysis using tools like Tableau or Looker.
Sounds like a serious setup for serious data needs. But does all this tracking slow down the website for actual customers? That's always a worry.
It's a valid concern. Performance is key. You need to balance data richness with site speed. Techniques like server-side tracking help, as does asynchronous loading of tracking scripts so they don't block the page. Being selective about event tracking, only track what you actually use, and using batch processing for data transfers helps too. Shopify is also providing more developer resources for building performant custom solutions.
Okay, so there are ways to be data hungry without hurting the user experience. Now, once you got all this data flowing, how do you make sure the important stuff actually gets noticed? It's easy to drown.
That's where automated insights and notification systems are game changers. Instead of you having to dig through reports constantly, the system flags important things for you.
Like automated alerts.
Yeah, but smarter. AI-driven alerts that understand normal variation versus a real issue. Automated report generation that sends tailored summaries to different teams on a schedule. Advanced anomaly detection that doesn't just flag a weird number, but might even suggest why it's weird.
So this system does some initial analysis for you.
Exactly. You can set up goal tracking alerts, notify me if we're falling behind on our Q3 revenue target, competitive benchmark notifications, alert me if competitor X's pricing changes significantly, and even predictive alerts.
Predicting future issues.
Yeah, warning, based on current trends, product Y is likely to stock out in 2 weeks, or this customer segment is showing increased churn risk. It's about proactive awareness.
That automation sounds like it could free up a lot of time for strategic thinking instead of just data digging.
Can we talk about some real-world wins, examples of businesses using this stuff successfully? Absolutely. Take Coastal Scents, a smaller beauty brand. They used customer segmentation analytics to really understand their best customers, tailored marketing based on that. They saw a 34% jump in repeat purchases, 22% higher AOV, and cut customer acquisition costs by almost 47%.
Wow, huge numbers for a smaller business. What about a bigger name?
Look at Allbirds. They built a unified system connecting Shopify, CRM, inventory. Their predictive inventory system got to over 92% accuracy. Result, 64% fewer stockouts, 37% less excess inventory, massive operational savings, and happier customers.
That's impact at scale. Any unique industry examples?
Farm Fresh to You, the organic produce subscription. They use behavior prediction to forecast demand by neighborhood, cut food waste by 59%, and boosted customer satisfaction by 31% through better personalization. Amazing result for perishables.
Using data to reduce waste, that's fantastic.
One more. MVMT watches. They were relentless with A/B testing, guided by deep user analytics. Over 18 months, they improved their overall conversion rate by 28%. That's huge revenue growth just from optimizing the experience.
These stories really show the tangible results. But it's not always smooth sailing, right? What are the common roadblocks people hit?
Oh, definitely challenges exist. Data quality is a big one. Garbage in, garbage out, right? If tracking is broken or definitions are inconsistent, your insights are useless. Solution: strong data governance, clear definitions, regular audits. Get that single source of truth.
Ensuring the foundation is solid. What else?
Analysis paralysis. Just getting overwhelmed. The fix is starting with clear business questions. What do you need to know? Focus your efforts and dashboard design around those key questions, not just tracking everything possible.
Don't boil the ocean. Got it. What about skills? Does everyone need to be a data scientist?
That's often a perceived barrier. While some expertise helps for advanced stuff, leverage user-friendly tools first. For complex projects, maybe bring in a consultant or freelancer. Larger companies might build an internal analytics center of excellence. It's about finding the right balance of tools and people. Integrating with old legacy systems can also be painful. Often, a data warehouse is the answer there, a central place to bring everything together via ETL.
Finding ways around technical hurdles, what about cost?
Resource allocation, yeah. Don't try to do everything at once. Use a phased approach. Tackle the analytics that offer the biggest potential ROI first, then reinvest those gains into more advanced capabilities. And finally, remember to balance automation and human judgment. Let AI process data and spot patterns, but humans are still needed for interpretation, strategy, and the final decisions.
Great practical advice there. Okay, looking ahead, crystal ball time again. What's next for Shopify Analytics 2026 and beyond?
The future looks even smarter and more integrated. Expect more AI and machine learning doing autonomous exploration, suggesting actions more proactively. Voice-activated analytics just talking to your data will likely become more common.
Hey, Shopify, how's my AOV trending?
Something like that. Augmented analytics will blend AI insights seamlessly with human workflows. Edge computing could enable even faster, real-time processing right where data is generated, maybe even cautious use of aggregated, anonymized biometric data for understanding emotional responses. Carefully, of course.
Interesting, but yeah, privacy first there.
Absolutely. Cross-device, cross-platform analytics will get even better, closer to that true single customer view. And a huge focus will be on privacy-first personalization techniques like federated learning or differential privacy that allow tailoring experiences without compromising individual data.
So smarter, faster, more unified, but also more privacy conscious. Okay, wrapping up this deep dive, what's the core message for listeners wanting to level up their analytics?
It's really about extracting more value from the data you have. Understand customers deeply, optimize operations precisely, drive real growth, adopt that strategic mindset. Start with business questions, build a solid data foundation, phase your implementation, balance tech and human smarts, and crucially, act on the insights, create those feedback loops.
It's an ongoing capability, not a one-off project. What are some concrete first steps someone could take after listening to this?
Good question. First, maybe audit your current setup. Where are the gaps? Then really try to understand your most valuable customer segments, what makes them tick. Dip your toe into predictive features if you haven't. Set up automated alerts for your key KPIs. And start designing dashboards tailored to specific roles or questions. Small steps build momentum.
Excellent starting points. It's clear mastering this stuff is a real competitive edge.
No question. In this market, making smarter, faster, data-driven decisions is how you win.
Ready to accelerate your Shopify store's growth even further? Don't forget to check out the Growth Suite application, your all-in-one solution for implementing many of the advanced analytic strategies we've discussed, helping you turn data insights into real sales growth. This deep dive was powered by Growth Suite. Growth Suite helps you run smart discount campaigns on your store. Test it for free on your Shopify store. Just land on the Shopify App Store now and test it for free